As always, here on After Hours with Cade, I sit down with local artists to discuss the impact Lawton and Southwest Oklahoma has had on their career and how it's shaped their artistry. For this edition, I sat down with Lucavi, a local metal band that regularly tours Lawton venues.
My name's Dakota. I've lived here most of my life, and Lawton, Oklahoma.
My name is David Dotson. I'm the drummer. I'm from here, been here most of my life. Left a couple times, got pulled right back in, and met these guys through another project that we were doing for a Pantera side project called Nacho Cart. From that evolution, we ended up creating this band, Lucavi.
I'm Frankie Furious, and I'm originally from California. Got stationed here about 28 years ago, went to a party on the east side of town and met the love of my life, and still here with her and 2 kids. And again, met these guys through other things, and then we got to playing together and just turned into what it is.
I'm Garrett Glass, and I was born and raised here. I love these guys. They're my friends.
I know you kind of mentioned that you met with them on a different project. How did you three meet? Did you guys grow up together? Obviously not you. Did you guys grow up together, or did you guys meet as adults?
This is not our dad. Me and Garrett met just through junior high, mutual friends, and been friends ever since, and talked about doing a band since basically we met. And then 15 years later, we finally did it. Coming through here and seeing all the local bands, we met David. He's been a musician in the town for 20 years, and Francis as well. And once we all started talking and vibing, we just knew it was right.
What made you guys get into music initially, each of you? Was it at a young age, or did you get into it as adults?
AC/DC for me.
It was AC/DC for me too, but I've been playing drums for 30 years. I just taught myself. My dad was actually really cool enough for me to be able to sit in the garage and sit there and just learn how to play. But I was a custodian for Lawton Public Schools. I've been with them for 15 years. These guys were going to Eisenhower when I first started working for Lawton Public Schools, and I noticed he had like some kind of either Pantera shirt or something like that.
It was a Metallica shirt.
It was a Metallica shirt. I was like, cool shirt, and he just kind of blew it off like, this guy.
Why is this guy talking to me?
And it's funny, oddly enough, a few years later, we're in a band together.
I had a little bit more of I've always, since I was little, once I discovered rock and metal and stuff like that, my first major band that I really liked was Kiss. And me and my sister used to try and paint our faces like the guys and stuff, and I always dreamed of doing the rock star thing. And in high school I got into theater and found that was a lot easier than playing a trumpet. And eventually, when I joined the military, I still did theater, still did stuff. And got out of the theater because I'd promised a friend that if he ever got good enough to play, I would learn how to play a guitar and play bass for his band. And about a year after I said that, he was actually good, and I had to pony up. So since then, I've had numerous projects, and then they called me in on the 3rd generation of the Nacho Cart, and it's been probably the happiest I've been. Not that I haven't been happy with the other bands, but this is the happiest I've ever been with this group of guys. We're really, really tight. We talk every day. So
Mine and Dakota's generation, remember it was Lamb of God for me. Lamb of God, Pantera, and I remember watching the documentaries of bands and just fallen in love with the connection that it all had. But I don't know, the music just hit me. Music just, it was there throughout the hard times and the great times. And being a part of it now, it's definitely a dream come true, and I love that I can be a part of that or be in this with these guys. It's amazing.
Well, for you three, being from Lawton, how do you feel like the town has affected how you approach your music or affect your artistry? And for you, growing up in California and then coming here and then being here for 28 years, how has that changed how you view things?
I've been in multiple bands since the age of 13 around here, and when I started off, there was a couple other bands that we played with. At the time, it was they were not named Agony, but they turned out to be Coma Trip. They were a pretty big band around here for quite some years. Between playing in multiple bands, from Dementia through The Final Step, through Southern Aggression, to doing the Nacho Cart things, and then now Lucavi, Norville, and Titan Metal, it's just been an insane amount of talent in this town for the size that it is. That's what molded me to be able to be the musician that I am today, because all the other musicians around here are so good that you kind of have to step your game up every single time you go out there, and that's what really this is all about. Getting better, making the best kind of music that you can, and with everybody else's style around here, nobody else sounds the same. There's a lot of diversity in this town alone, and that's what definitely has molded me in the better musician that I am today.
For me, I grew up in Sacramento, big city, big-ish, not like LA, but big city enough. Got to see amazing bands come through quite regularly, Metallica and Rush, and actually got chased by mounted police trying to sneak into Rush, but that's a whole nother story. Music was, once I found metal, it was my identifier, and the guys looked like me and had the same issues as I had and all that stuff. And I didn't get into playing music though until I got out here, until after I'd been out here for a while. And I think if I had gotten into music out there, we would have been little fish, big pond. Where out here, just the talent pool, like he was saying, the talent pool out here is amazing. Great group. It's a wonderful, supportive family. And it allows a little fish like us to be big fish in a big pond. And it's helped shape my outlook on rock and metal and stuff like that. David and I, of course, are a previous generation to these two, but I still love the new stuff that's coming out. I'm not an old fuddy-duddy. Oh, back in my day, we didn't write songs like that. No, I like the new stuff. I love hearing scream vocals and blast beats and all that good stuff. And I love his vocal work and his guitar playing, and I try to be some sort of equal, which I'm trying.
One! Let's have some fun!
What drives Lucavi's creativity? How do you guys approach your original music? Is it a collaborative process, or do you guys kind of divvy up, like one person focuses on lyrics, another focuses on the production? How does that work?
I think the first thing is that we connect with each other, and that's the most important thing, is that we connect with each other on a level that, you know, we're all friends, we all have a good time. Dakota and David, they focus on basically setting out the blueprint of, you know, the instruments of the song, and then me and Francis will jump in, and Francis will learn through the process, and I'll find the vocal placements along the way, and if I can figure out the vocal placements, what seems good, what, you know, sounds good, then lyrics will come later usually. So it's a process, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Sometimes it just starts with a riff that I either write in front of these guys or at home, and then me and David just keep bouncing back and forth, trying new things, and that's mostly how we've written our songs so far. We do have a network of musicians and friends who help out. One of our friends, Matt Shreve, has done basically all of our artwork.
Helps out on song Humanoid. He's
Right.
on that.
He's featured in our song Humanoid, which is probably our first actual Lucavi song compared to the rest. Yeah. Francis comes in, does his bass thing. Sometimes me and Garrett get together and figure out our lyrics and all that, but it's mostly up to him. But yeah, we're in a group chat. We talk every day. We're always bouncing ideas and coming up with themes and what we want to do.
What are y'all's views on the current music scene here in Lawton, especially being a band, you know, that doesn't fit kind of the category that people like to classify Lawton as?
I think it's on the uptick. I mean, there's a lot of new, younger bands who are really hungry. I know a lot of bands have phased out, but some have come back. There's all kinds of projects that are in the works with musicians that we know around town. And I don't know, we're not trying to be any band specifically. We just like getting together and writing music, right, and it's fun for us.
The process of doing the EP, once I got in there to lay the drums down, really it was just nothing after that. These guys just got to jump in. I did most of my stuff in about 1, 2, maybe 3 tracks per song. They got to jump in. I think the guitars were next, or the basses. They got their stuff put down, and then the vocals were last. Brandon Kramer, very, very good producer. 1121 recording studio, best place you got to go to it. He's great. He's helped with the timing, set everything out correctly. And it was a great process. We were done with that EP in really just about no time. And it was the easiest recording I've got to do yet, and I've had quite a few recordings go.
Well, with that being y'all's first EP, when did you guys initially form? How long have you guys worked on that?
Maybe a year.
Yeah, about a year.
Yeah, I guess Lucavi has been active just over a year. Like David said earlier, we were in a project called Nacho Cart, which is just a cover band, I guess. And that's where we all met. And from there, we were like, let's write original music. Let's not just play other people's songs. And we started riffing more and more, and it really boomed from there.
What's the feedback from the community and your peers been like?
Seems like only our friends care. Just kidding. No, especially playing at these Vasca shows like we did last week. It seems like people are really into it. I think people are having fun. I mean, I'm having fun, and
Yeah, we've been getting rather positive responses from it.
Lots of faces we don't recognize just coming
Right.
up and
I mean, we've been
telling
selling
us.
a lot of merchandise lately, just due to the logo itself, and obviously the EP is taken off a little bit, not as much as we want to at this particular time, but it'll eventually gain ground. But yeah, for sure, the EP alone and the merchandise that we've been having, very positive outlook. We're working on new material for another EP. We're about halfway there so far, and so we got quite a few things to look forward to.
I'm sure it's hard to coordinate with 4 different people, 4 different schedules, but music videos for the EP, music videos in general, can we look forward to something soon?
man, we have a really fun idea, but it is hard getting together. We have our friend Justin Stevens set to direct our first music video, and there's no timeline. There's no timeline to this.
No time.
All right, well, I want to circle back to the second EP in progress. How long? When do you guys anticipate that being done, and when do you guys expect to start rolling out a single or two?
So a week or two ago, we played, I guess, a demo version of one of our new songs, and it got a good response, so that's more fuel for us. I would say we're about a quarter into the full process, so maybe a year.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe a year until there's an actual single and a release date.
You guys perform quite frequently here in town. What's your favorite part about being here in Lawton and performing for the locals?
Favorite thing is new faces. We want to see new faces. It's always fun to perform in front of your fans. I mean, friends, family, but new people. We're aiming for that. Like, come on out. Like that's what we're looking for. We want to open up, new eyes, new ears, and really, present what we have created, and just have a blast doing it.
A big reason why we do like playing here quite a bit is that we have some of the toughest critics from our own hometown. And believe me when I tell you that they are going to let you know if it's good or not. And when we pop out something new and they just soak it in, man, that's something else. That really gets your juices flowing, right? Yeah, the people around here love them to death, but they will tell you if it's good or if it's not.
There's no smoke blowing.
Yeah, there's no smoke blowing around here.
I think Lawton's pretty well known for our raw opinions.
Yes.
Out, and you could tell where the support is and where it's not. This town is 50-50 on a lot of it, and you could tell. You could have a huge event, get advertised everywhere, and maybe 15 people show up. But if they really dig what you're doing, you're going to be able to get people to come out, and we've been lucky enough to be able to pull some people in.
Well, I mean, as you mentioned, I mean, sometimes that constructive criticism is needed, and it helps you grow.
Absolutely, and it does help us grow. We've gotten so close as a band and so tight, solely due to hearing opinions of how we sound, like stuff like that. But we just mainly take in consideration of what we like to do, and what we like to do is really a lot what people here kind of like want to hear.
What are y'all's goals for Lucavi? Where do you see yourselves in the next 5 years, the band?
World domination.
World domination. Now, I'd like to be able to, get to play bigger shows, zoo amphitheater shows, things like that. Go on a tour.
Diamond Ballroom.
Yeah, Diamond Ballroom shows. More than just regional. I'd like to be able to, for us, in about 5 years, at least have one or two albums that are out there that are, quite known.
5-year goal. I mean, we definitely want to stretch our legs and be able to travel more often and play shows with other bands. We get people from out of town here all the time, and we tell them all the time that we want to play with them in their hometown. And yeah, I mean, just expand the band. I mean, I don't think any of us really wants to be famous from this. We just do it because it's a lot of fun and see how far we can go with it.
What do you guys feel like sets you apart from other bands in Southwest Oklahoma?
Definitely this. It's definitely this.
That's right. It's that sauce.
I don't know if there's a real answer for that. I'm going to repeat myself a lot. We simply just have fun playing music together, and that's my drive. I don't want to take it too serious, but you have to take it serious enough to get it moving. If you ask an outsider of Oklahoma, they probably wouldn't expect there to be such a thriving metal scene in the state. Oklahoma City for sure is on a big wave. Tulsa's always had an abundance of good bands. And even in all the little small towns all around, like, bands are just popping up and blowing minds, I think. So probably here in the next few years, I think Oklahoma's going to be on the map for metal bands.
Right. And I'd like to see Lucavi actually get to put Lawton on that map.
Yes.
I'd like to be able to, get out of here and
5-year goal.
Yeah, 5-year goal. I'd like to be able to get out of here and make a name for ourselves as like, hey, this is a hotbed of talent around here. Take a look at these guys. They got signed and they're pretty good. Check these guys out. Yeah. And that'd be a really awesome thing to do. And I think what a lot of that separates us from a lot of other bands, and especially in the scene here, is that we're so tightly knit. We're so close. Nobody's stepping on anybody's toes around here. We're just actually going out and helping each other out and trying to, be good, trying to get everybody else to get on a certain level so we can make this place a destination for musicians to be able to come through. And
Yeah, I know you guys do a lot of promotion for other bands as well. I thought Senseless, you guys actually introduced me to.
Yeah. Quick story about them. They got their name from a song that I was a band in, Southern Aggression. It was one of our songs, and my guitarist Lonnie, that's his son Lennon, that's in that band. And of course, everybody around here, Chasing the Coyote. Of course, obviously the other bands that we're a part of, Titan Metal, Norville, we all
As displayed.
Yeah, as displayed, as you can tell here. Yes. Astrothrone. We do a lot of promoting for a lot of other bands, but they also do a lot of promoting for us. And so the best that we can do to be able to help each other out, try to make a name for ourselves. Whoever tries to get out here first, maybe we can get other people signed.
What does Scott Rains call this whole thing with all our bands?
The Southwest Desert Doom thing. I don't know.
What is it specifically?
Yeah, what is it specifically?
Southwestern.
Here, you take it.
Southwestern stoner doom groove metal, something like that. And I guess we fall into the category of groove, Southwestern groove, because we're not stoner. Well, these two are.
a little bit of difference here. We're big Pliny fans. We're big into prog metal. I was a big Rush fan growing up, and so a lot of that style kind of comes out in this band too, as you can hear a little bit in the drumming, a little bit in the guitars. You know, a little more wide open, but a little more crispness.
What's one thing that you guys would change about the Lawton music scene? I know that it's been overall kind of supportive for you guys.
More support would be definitely the biggest thing. The biggest thing. More support. More venues would be cool too if we had an outside amphitheater, something like that. If we had another place for an all-ages show to be able to play at, instead of every once in a while to have just a Vasca show, or back in the day just a VFW show, something like that. It would be cool to have an outside amphitheater. Now, I know they have one they're being built out at the park, right?
Mason Park?
No, over at Elmer Thomas.
Oh.
Yeah. And yeah, so I mean, if that becomes a thing, I would love to be able to get to have bands go out there and be a big deal out of it. And you would be surprised, a lot of these fans that come out and support, especially here, you're not even allowed to mosh here. The scene is very respectful. And so you can be able to get that over there at an amphitheater down in the park and not have things get tore up, but have a good time. And I think that alone would be the one biggest thing that I think everybody around here would enjoy the most. More support and having a venue to where we can all play at.
Yeah, I guess something I'd like to see in Lawton is for the community to be less dismissive of metal music. Just because you're not involved in it, come check it out, you know? Right. I mean, we're trying to... Upside Down Entertainment, which is Brandon Kramer and Scott Golden, they're putting in the legwork to get all ages shows. There's been a lot of support, and if it keeps growing, it'll just be better for all music in this town.
I agree. Oh. Yeah, I agree with the more support, more venues, and less dismissive of... There's a stigma, I guess you can say. You say, oh, I'm at the Railhead. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to go there. I heard it's rough.
It is not.
No. Like, you're going to be hugged more than you're going to be punched in the face.
They're very accepting here.
Very.
Very accepting.
It's so crazy when I tell people about the Railhead and they have that reaction, because this is one of the places that I came to one of my first drag shows.
Right. Yeah.
Like, this is not... that y'all have a... different correlation with it.
That's the epitome right
Most-
there. You could be able to have those kind of things.
Most of us, when we were in when coming up, we're in the '80s. We were fringe. We were on the outside. We weren't part of the popular crowd. I know I wasn't. I was a nerd. I was goofy, and metal gave me some sort of belonging, and it stuck with me. It's just something that stuck with me. It's not a lifestyle or anything. It's not a phase, it's a lifestyle. It's become a lifestyle. My children go to sleep to it. My daughter falls asleep when she hears hard rock. If she hears anything other than hard rock, she's like, whatever. So, and she's 14 now. So having that sense of belonging and not treating others the way. So when someone comes in that's new, we don't go, you're not wearing what we think you should be wearing. We don't, none of that. Hey, welcome to the Railhead. Welcome to the family. Come on in, have a good time.
We have our own shot here.
Promote it. Tell me about it.
You
What-
know
what is it?
What is it?
Amaretto and Southern Comfort and
Coke.
Splash Coke.
Yeah,
That's a Lucavi.
Yeah.
We're streaming pretty much on all platforms. You name it, it's there. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Just look up Lucavi. You'll probably see our little pinched fingers. And yeah, check us out. Stream it by whatever you want to do. Just listen to it.
Oklahoma, thank you for being a part of this. We are retarded.